Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. The young man arrested for attempt on the life of Deputy Commissioner of Prisons and daughter in Trinidad and Tobago died while on remand. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 24th October 2023, brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Details when we return.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Acting Commissioner of Prisons Diopasar Ramotar says it is too early in the investigations to comment on the cause of death of the accused who was remanded into custody for the attempted murder on the lives of the Acting Deputy Commissioner of Prisons Sherwin Bruce and his daughter. TTT News has more.
The Commissioner says that he has seen reports stating that Emmanuel Joseph's death was due to cardiac arrest, but he cannot say at this point in time whether the report was confirmed by medical practitioners or not. However, Commissioner Ramotar says police are looking into the matter.
So there is no issue to me as a reporter to me of any foul play or anything like that. But that is only as much I can say until I get more information.
According to the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, on Friday, October 20th at around 10:20 p.m., remanded inmate Emmanuel Joseph, who was housed at the Eastern Correctional Rehabilitation Center, was taken to the Arima Health Facility after complaining about chest pains. He was attended to and subsequently pronounced dead by the attending physician. Earlier this week, Joseph, who hails from Santa Cruz area, was remanded into custody. According to police, Joseph was one of two masked men who shot at a vehicle while it was parked outside the home of the Acting Deputy Commissioner of Prisons on October 11th.
In the meantime, CNC3 News spoke to relatives of the suspect charged with the attempt on the Deputy Prison Commissioner's life. They tell all they want is the truth behind his death, especially with social media reports suggesting he had suffered a cardiac arrest. Jesse Ramdio reports.
The family of 22-year-old Emmanuel Joseph, the man charged with the attempted murder of prison officer Steve Phipps and the wounding of a 12-year-old girl, is questioning what they describe as a sudden and mysterious demise.
Nobody don't like to talk the truth at all. Nobody don't like to talk the truth. And you see the system? And I always used to tell that same one, and I would tell anybody, a stranger, anybody. You see the system? Or you don't ever get in the system.
Speaking at their family home in Santa Cruz, Crystal Charles said the lack of information surrounding Joseph's death has planted seeds of doubt in their minds.
As we say, nobody never call us and let us know anything. News put up everything before we know anything.
Charles explains that her brother was not known to suffer with any serious medical condition.
He never had no kind of heart ailment or anything. The boy used to be up and down all over. He smoking, he drinking, he lying, he partying every day. He lying and partying, and he normal. Not to say like he ever suffer with anything. No, the only thing he suffer with is when he was baby, his intestine was closing in. That was the only thing.
Charles added the family learned of Emmanuel's death through news updates posted on social media and expressed outrage with the authorities for being kept in the dark over an extended period. While in remand, Emmanuel reported feeling ill and was taken to hospital where he died. Jesse Ramdale, CNC3 News.
Antigua and Barbuda's esteemed ambassador to the United States and the Organization of American States, Sir Ronald Sanders, says Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago should be lauded, not criticized over his dress code at the end of the Canada CARICOM summit last week. More in this TTT News item.
In a post via social media, Sir Ronald says regrettable comments have been made on Facebook that do a great injustice to Prime Minister Rowley, who was an outstanding voice at the Canada CARICOM meeting on the issues that are important to us as a region. Sir Ronald further states, "I can attest to this because I sat next to him at all sessions of the meeting." And he points out the circumstances of Dr. Rowley's attire for media conference with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, where that the conference chair, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit of Dominica, had to leave early because of the prospect of Hurricane Tammy hitting his country. He notes Prime Minister Rowley had dressed to leave the hotel for the multiple airplane journeys to Trinidad and Tobago, but in the absence of Prime Minister Skerrit, Dr. Rowley was pressed into service at the very last minute. Sir Ronald says Prime Minister Rowley stepped up to the plate, and even though he was drafted with no prior notice, he spoke well for all.
The Organization of American States Cybersecurity Symposium took place in the Bahamas. Here are some highlights.
Well, the latest information on cybersecurity shared during a symposium, a joint initiative of the Ministry of Finance and the Organization of American States. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Wade Watson, says the forum ties into the government's digitization agenda.
This symposium will provide entities from the public and the private sector the opportunities to demonstrate their products, their tools, and their services while engaging with counterparts and leaders in the cybersecurity space. It is expected that the conference will include innovative technological activities to engage the participants and raise their understanding and appreciation of cybersecurity. The government is advancing full-fledged with its digitalization efforts.
Watson further stressing that cybersecurity plays a pivotal role in the government's push to enhance the ease of doing business in the country.
Therefore, the government is in the process of completing and revamping the government's official website. We are also continuing the process of finalizing the framework for procurement for the National Digital EID for Bahamians and legal residents. We are working on bringing more services online, and our digitization efforts within government continues to increase as we seek to digitize more government records.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
During his opening remarks at the annual Agri-Invest Forum and Expo, Head of State of Guyana, President Irfan Ali, expressed a strong commitment to emphasizing the roles of youth and women in the agriculture sector. Moreover, he enthusiastically shared plans to elevate the Guyana School of Agriculture into a center of excellence. Renata Burnett provides more insights in her HGP report.
In the presence of regional and international dignitaries, stakeholders, and students, President Irfan Ali, in his feature address at the 3rd Annual Agri-Invest Forum and Expo, said Guyana is committed to positioning itself as a global leader on climate change, food, and energy security.
Young people, you will be part of this story where your country, your work, and your commitment will lead to Guyana being in a very good position.
In his visit to Ottawa, Canada for the CARICOM Summit, President Ali said coming out of the many discussions with his Caribbean counterparts, visions were laid out for the creation of innovative jobs for Guyanese.
We are going to launch a program where we want to have at least 3,000 of our young people in these innovative jobs in the coming years. And Canada and Guyana will partner in developing a framework.
Youths from the CARICOM nations will be going to the regional headquarters at the Inter-American Institution for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, to be trained at their innovative center. According to President Irfan Ali, ICA and the government of Guyana plans to develop a center of excellence for young people in the field of agriculture in Guyana and across the region.
The Guyana School of Agriculture will be transformed into ICA Guyana Center of Excellence for studies in the field of agriculture, focusing on innovation.
In the coming months, with the help of ICA, there are plans to set up a situation room in Guyana that will provide real-time data for farmers. that will allow evidence-based decision-making. Renata Burnett, reporting for the HGP, Nightly News.
International media reports are suggesting that St. Kitts and Nevis sold a total of 36,742 passports under its Citizenship by Investment program. Andre Huey of SKN Newsline reports.
The reports also suggest that the Federation is among 5 countries in the Caribbean with CBI programs selling a combined total of 88,000 passports. This information comes against the backdrop of the local media and the public not being given statistics on the program from the CBI unit here, despite several requests for this information. The transparency of the program still remains an issue, despite promises from the government. In fact, when CEO of the CBI unit, Mr. Michael Martin, was asked recently about CBI statistics on the government TV show In Focus, this was his response.
I'd want to touch on, as you mentioned, in terms of the publication possibly of statistics. Any idea, a timeline when that might be done?
Well, we are working on a lot of things right now. And I am not going to say to you that it's going to happen next week or next month, but I can assure you that on my watch it is going to happen.
A report published by the Caribbean Investigative Journalism Network in 2022, co-written by this reporter, fellow colleague Glenn Bart, and journalist Rachel Agard, also raised concerns about lack of transparency of the program. One section of that story states, the St. Christopher and Nevis Citizenship Act, which governs how the CBI program works, does not contain provisions for the authorities to disclose who the applicants are, their nationality, how much money the program makes, how many applications are made to the program, or even how many passports are granted. This and other pertinent information in relation to the CBI remains a mystery. The law that governs the program does not obligate the authorities to report on its progress, despite promises by the current administration to make the program more transparent and accountable. In response to growing threats to the CBI program globally, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis recently announced the changes. The Sustainable Growth Fund, the SGF, has been replaced by the newly introduced Sustainable Island State Contribution, SISC. A single applicant must make a minimum donation of $250,000 in accordance with the SISC, which is twice the minimum amount of investment for the Sustainable Growth Fund of $125,000. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew said recently that these efforts maintain the high ranking of the program through swift and proactive measures to strengthen regulations governing the program, particularly as it relates to due diligence. Some pundits, however, believe the efforts of the government to try and restore the high value of the program may be a little too late. Developmental economist Peter Adrians, in a recent radio interview, expressed this view.
It's supposed to attract a certain kind of clientele, and it sets its price.
Mm-hmm.
So we call that a good of ostentation. You cannot take a given products and bring them back to a good of ostentation, because the people that you want to attract, they don't come back to this thing.
But another issue is brewing. The European Commission is once again expressing concerns about citizenship by investment programs, or golden passports as they are called, posing a threat to Europe's national security. In a most recent report, the European Commission is once again proposing to the EU to remove the visa waiver for these countries. In fact, the Commission is arguing that operating these citizenship by investment programs should be grounds for the EU to end its visa waiver program with these countries. A report in the UK Guardian says the Commission is proposing to overhaul regulations, saying it is concerned the golden passports could be enabling the infiltration of organized crime, money laundering, tax evasion, and corruption. It wants the power to suspend visa exemption for countries that sell citizenship to buyers who do not have a genuine link to the country. In their report, the European Commission expressed worry about Caribbean CBI countries allowing CBI investors to change their names upon naturalization, and listed St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, Dominica, and Antigua and Barbuda as the countries that offer this feature. The Commission also questions the Caribbean's CBI's high acceptance rates. It says, based on the information received from competent authorities, the Commission has concluded that all of the investor schemes under consideration have a large number of successful applicants. Simultaneously, the rejection rate is extraordinarily low, between 3 and 6%, which, together with the short processing durations, as little as 2 months in some cases, raises concerns about the completeness of the security screening. Up to news time, there has not been a response from the government on the European Commission's report or the revelations in the Guardian media article. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.